For just $15, you can enjoy a lavish feast in Moscow, while in Manhattan, USA, it would cost $70. Even more shocking, the women here are the most beautiful in the world, yet they lack male companionship due to a gender imbalance. Welcome to the real life in Russia, home to the world's coldest city, Yakutsk, -95.8 degrees Fahrenheit, and the magnificent St. Petersburg with its opulent palaces. Number 1. Russia is bigger than Pluto. Russia is the world's largest country, stretching from Eastern Europe to North Asia. With an area of 6.6 million square miles, its territory is even larger than Pluto. Occupying more than 1/8 of the world's land area, Russia's territory spans 11 time zones. The sun never rises simultaneously across all of Russia. Notably, 75% of its land area is in Asia, but over 70% of its population lives in the European part of the country. This distribution leaves Siberia vast and sparsely populated, despite being larger than the entire United States. The climate in Siberia is also extremely harsh. In Yakutsk, temperatures reach 95.8 degrees Fahrenheit. A cup of boiling water thrown into the air will freeze before it hits the ground. Large cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg are also covered in snow during the winter. However, summer brings the magical phenomenon of the white nights in the Arctic Circle, where the sun almost never sets. Russia has over 190 different ethnic groups. Russian is the main language, but people still speak 100 other languages. In the highlands of Dagestan, people can switch between 10 languages. Currently, Russia ranks 9th in the world with a population of 145 million, but faces a significant gender imbalance. The current ratio is only 860 men per 1,000 women. This disparity stems from lifestyle habits and health issues. In addition to facing demographic challenges, Russia's economy is also under sanctions from the US and the West due to the prolonged war with Ukraine. Under this pressure, Russia has shifted its energy exports to partners such as China and India. Even more shocking, Russia has announced the successful development of a cancer vaccine. This vaccine is extremely expensive, costing up to $2,800 per dose. Yet the government has decided to provide it free of charge to the population. Before exploring more about Russian culture and the beauty of Russian women, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other fascinating videos. Number 2. Russian women are the most beautiful on the planet. If you invite a Russian girl to dinner and suggest splitting the bill, there will be no second date. In America, splitting the bill is considered normal for women, but this is absolutely not in the vocabulary of Russian women. For Russian women, men always pay for every meal. If you give flowers, you must choose an odd number because even numbers are reserved only for funerals. In the current economic climate, Russian women have a very practical view of marriage. Instead of empty promises, they prioritize finding a partner with a solid career foundation. Russia is a melting pot of many ethnic groups such as Slavs, Nordic, Tatar, and Central Asian. This combination gives Russian women striking looks. Their beauty is considered among the best in the world. Many Russian models, such as Irina Shayk and Natalia Vodianova, have become globally famous. Due to the shortage of men, women here place an extreme emphasis on investing in their appearance. Russian women maintain a very meticulous self-care routine through beauty services and a strict lifestyle. They always prioritize elegant dressing, readily wearing high-end clothing and elaborate makeup whenever they go out. As a result, The cosmetics and spa industry in Russia consistently generates billions of dollars in revenue annually. Despite valuing traditional femininity and love, Russian women are incredibly independent in their careers. This country has one of the highest percentages of women holding senior leadership positions in the world, at 45%. This figure is significantly higher than in the US and Europe. They dominate industries such as accounting, education, healthcare, and human resources. Interestingly, during the day they are powerful CEOs, but at night they transform into pampered wives, with their husbands opening the car door for them. Would you like to replace Russian men and date the most beautiful girls in the world? Write 2 in the comments. Number 3. Moscow. The heart of Russia. Moscow, 3 times the size of New York City, is home to over 19 million people. Known as the heart of Russia, it boasts a history spanning over 800 years. The center of power in Moscow is the Kremlin, the official residence of President Vladimir Putin. Here you frequently see armored vehicles speeding through the streets, their sirens blaring. Despite being the most populous city in Russia, Moscow has a very low crime rate, thanks to its extensive network of security cameras and the constant presence of police. Women can safely walk home from the subway station at night. While American cities are built according to a grid pattern, Moscow's development follows concentric circles radiating from the Kremlin. To get from one end to the other, you must cross these circles. Unlike the quiet after 8 p.m. in many Western European capitals, Moscow's services operate 24/7. You can get a haircut, shop for designer goods, or hit the gym at 3 a.m. perfectly normally. However, this vibrant lifestyle comes with certain social barriers. Moscow's nightclubs and upscale restaurants maintain an extremely strict culture called face control. Security guards at the entrance have the right to glance at your attire, appearance, and demeanor to decide whether or not you're allowed in, regardless of how much money you have in your wallet. Located on the western outskirts of Moscow, the Rubliovka area offers a completely different perspective on Russia. Nestled amidst primeval pine and birch forests, this suburban area is the exclusive domain of Russia's super-rich and economic elite. Behind walls several meters high are ultra-luxury villas, complete with helipads and self-contained entertainment complexes. Are you confident enough to overcome the face control hurdle and immerse yourself in the dynamic life of Russia's safest metropolis? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Number 4. Yakutsk, the coldest city in the world. Located in the Russian Far East, Yakutsk is the coldest city on the planet. Over 300,000 residents live in temperatures that frequently drop to -58 degrees Fahrenheit. It has even reached a record low of -95.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Because it sits entirely on permafrost, urban architecture here must adhere to extremely specific standards. Wooden houses are preferred because steel would become brittle in the extreme cold. Concrete apartment buildings must be built on pillars embedded up to 15 meters deep to prevent heat from melting the foundations. Modern housing complexes operate like miniature cities with a closed-loop industrial heating system. Daily life for the residents is a difficult task. The water supply is heated by wood-burning stoves, making bathing and washing extremely difficult. Therefore, residents have developed the habit of bathing only once or twice a week. When going out, layering clothing along with camel wool socks and fur hats is an unwritten rule. The people living here have no concept of fashion. For them, Dressing well takes a back seat to the function of keeping warm. The cold will freeze their eyelashes in minutes, so people rarely stay outdoors for more than 20 minutes to protect their health. The transportation infrastructure in Yakutsk also operates in its own way. Bus stops are always heated, and car engines must be kept running continuously to prevent fuel from freezing. If forced to turn off the engine for an extended period, car owners will cover the entire vehicle with multi-layered, heat-insulating tarpaulins to protect the engine system. The Krestiansky market here operates from 10 to 12 hours a day, specializing in frozen fish, horse meat, and reindeer meat. Buyers simply pound the fish on the snow to test its freshness. Because they cannot farm, the locals supplement their vitamin deficiencies with a dish of thinly sliced frozen fish eaten raw called stroganina. Conversely, fresh vegetables are incredibly expensive. A kilogram of tomatoes here can cost 10 times more than in Moscow. Number 5. Strange culture shocks in Russia. In the United States, jumping into a frozen lake might be considered a punishment or a bizarre gamble. But in Russia, it's a sacred ritual for purifying the soul. Every January, people perform the Epiphany ritual by stepping into cross-shaped ice pits. They believe the icy water completely cleanses both mind and body. To facilitate this large-scale event, the federal government regularly deploys rescue and medical teams. They are stationed at over 4,000 ice-breaking sites nationwide to ensure the absolute safety of participants. The art of survival in the freezing cold is further demonstrated through the traditional sauna system. Russians sit in spaces heated to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, whipping their skin with bundles of birch leaves to promote blood circulation. As soon as their bodies reach their highest temperature, they run outside and jump into ice pits or roll in the snow. This sudden temperature change stimulates the central nervous system, releasing large amounts of adrenaline and endorphins. This creates a strong euphoric state, while simultaneously strengthening the immune system to withstand harsh weather. When it comes to culinary culture, vodka plays a central role in all social interactions. The consumption of Russian domestic spirits generates over $2 billion in revenue annually. At banquets, the rules of pouring are strictly followed. You must hold the bottle palm down, as pouring with your hand facing upwards is considered unlucky and is only used at funerals. Finally, social rules at home are also deeply traditional. Guests are required to bring small gifts such as chocolate or wine to show respect. Whistling in the living space is strictly forbidden, as it is believed to drive away good fortune. They also always sit quietly for a moment before embarking on a long journey to pray for peace. Which aspect of Russian culture impressed you the most? Share your thoughts below. Number 6. Cost of living in Russia. Russia is often portrayed as a luxurious haven for the Eastern super-rich, but in reality, the cost of living there is incredibly cheap. In New York, you'd struggle to budget your grocery bills on a meager $2,000 a month. But in Moscow, that amount is more than enough to live comfortably. For around $500, you can rent a modern studio apartment in the city center. If you live in smaller towns or rent in the suburbs, the cost is even lower. If you're traveling, a night at a standard 4-star hotel in Russia costs only $40 to $70. Thanks to its status as an energy powerhouse, utility costs are unbelievably low. Gasoline prices are consistently kept at around 60 cents per liter. This means a 20-minute taxi ride costs less than $5, and a ticket on the opulent subway system costs only 60 cents. High-speed internet in major cities like Moscow is among the best in the world. yet it costs only $6 a month. Entrance tickets to major museums start at $10 or more. Regarding food, a standard restaurant lunch with a full course costs only $5 to $8. Eating at luxurious five-star restaurants will cost several times that amount. Meanwhile, street food is incredibly cheap. In total, a foreigner can comfortably live in Russia for around $1,000 to $1,200 per month. The core factor behind this affordability is Russia's strong self-sufficiency in supply. Russia produces almost everything from energy to food. Its massive agricultural output has propelled the country to become the world's largest wheat exporter for the past decade. When Western corporations withdraw, they immediately leverage existing infrastructure to establish new brands. For example, fast food chains have been renamed Vkusno I Tochka, and cafes have been renamed Stars Coffee. However, international payment cards issued outside the country will not work due to US sanctions. Tourists should prepare cash or switch to using Russia's domestic Mir payment system. Number 7. Destinations as beautiful as paradise. Russia boasts a magnificent natural landscape deeply marked by unique geological formations. In the Kuril Islands, Onekotan-san is a completely uninhabited volcanic island. Access to it is extremely difficult, requiring the hiring of icebreakers or specialized fishing boats departing from the Kamchatka Peninsula. The island's central highlight is the Koltsevoye volcano, rising from a secluded lake. This entire structure is nestled within a massive ancient volcanic crater. Further inland, the Altai Mountains display incredibly impressive geological formations. In the Ak-Kurum Valley, numerous rock formations resemble giant mushrooms, reaching heights of 23 feet. Over millions of years, the disparities in their physical structure have caused the base to erode rapidly under the influence of rain and wind, while the top remains unchanged. The Ghost Valley in Crimea, on the other hand, possesses a complex and intricate topography. Beneath the thick fog, air currents blowing through the cracks of the rock formations create optical illusions of moving shadows, accompanied by a whistling sound like a voice. One of the rock formations here has a surface contour that closely resembles the portrait of Empress Catherine the Great. This multidimensional landscape often disorients observers when visibility diminishes. Lake Baikal in Siberia asserts its position as the deepest freshwater lake on the planet. Its basin contains 20% of the world's total unfrozen surface fresh water, surpassing the combined volume of the 5 Great Lakes of North America. In the spring, the crystal-clear water allows you to observe objects at a depth of 131 feet. Its invaluable ecosystem boasts over 80% endemic species, such as the Baikal seal, which is found nowhere else in the ocean. Number 8. Must-try experiences in Russia. The Trans-Siberian Railway is the greatest transportation engineering feat on the planet, directly connecting Moscow with the port city of Vladivostok. This route spans over 5,700 miles, crosses 8 time zones, and stops in 87 cities during its 7-day continuous operation. Depending on the class of ticket, passengers will pay between $500 and $2,000. To save money, you can buy smoked omul fish from locals when the train stops at Sludyanka station. This fish has an extremely high fat content, helping it survive under thick ice and providing a great source of energy for passengers. In the Far East, the Kamchatka Peninsula boasts the world's highest concentration of volcanoes, with 29 active peaks. It is also home to a population of brown bears weighing up to 1,322 pounds. You can easily observe them hunting salmon along the streams. Because the constantly shifting geological conditions due to earthquakes make road construction impossible, helicopters are the only means of transportation in the area. The Stolby Nature Reserve in the heart of Siberia offers a different perspective on human adaptation. It is the birthplace of Stolbyism, a form of free climbing without safety ropes that has existed for 150 years. The giant rock formations here are actually solidified syenite magma from underground, pushed to the surface through millions of years of erosion. The fact that elderly people conquer these sheer cliffs with their bare hands is clear evidence of the extraordinary physical strength of the local inhabitants. Which journey would you most like to experience? Comment below. Number 9. A magnificent subway system. The Russian subway system transcends the concept of a conventional transportation network, becoming underground art spaces. The Moscow network spans 286 miles and connects 260 stations, boasting an on-time performance rate of 99.99%. During peak hours, the waiting time between trains is just 90 seconds. Moving to St. Petersburg, the marshy terrain forced engineers to excavate through weak geological layers to lay foundations on solid bedrock. Admiralteyskaya Station is a prime example, situated 282 feet below ground. Passengers need to spend 5 minutes standing on escalators to reach the exit. The slope of these escalators is always fixed at a 30-degree angle to distribute gravity and ensure maximum safety for the mechanical system. The entire infrastructure is equipped with heavy-duty steel doors that can be instantly converted into bomb shelters in nuclear war scenarios. The system also maintains free wireless internet access at depths of 300 feet, an amenity that megacities like New York or London have yet to achieve. The operating rules are so sophisticated that they even adjust the public address system. Passengers will hear a male voice announcing the train's direction as it approaches the city center. Conversely, they will hear a female voice as the train moves towards the suburbs. This deliberate sound design was initially proposed by the Russian Association of the Blind, aiming to help visually impaired passengers easily identify the train's direction without assistance. Have you ever experienced riding the Russian subway? Share your most memorable experience in the comments below. Number 10. Unique cuisine. Russian cuisine boasts unique recipes that challenge the limits of travelers. First is kopalchin, a fermented dish characteristic of the Chukchi people in the Arctic. The indigenous people prepare this dish by burying reindeer or seals under the ice for 6 months to allow natural fermentation to occur. This process partially breaks down proteins and produces high doses of bacterial toxins. For outsiders without adapted immune systems, consuming this dish can lead to severe food poisoning and even be life-threatening. Therefore, tourists should only try a tiny, fingertip-sized portion instead of consuming it as a regular meal. For a more palatable flavor, stroganina is a signature choice of the frigid Siberian region. This dish uses sturgeon or white salmon caught directly from ice holes. Then the fish is sliced into paper-thin strips using a knife. Passengers will enjoy raw fish with salt and pepper to experience the refreshing coolness melting in their mouths. A mandatory requirement for stroganina is that the fish slices must retain their frozen, solid structure and coldness when served. Another unique dish is kuyukta. These are actually the larvae of horseflies that grow under reindeer skin. Arctic people often harvest and consume them directly after being peeled, without any heat processing. Contrary to their appearance, the larvae have a sweet, creamy flavor similar to milk or nuts, without any unpleasant odor. If you want to return to more common and safe flavors, borscht beetroot soup is a globally renowned symbol of Russia. The soup's distinctive red color comes from the combination of the mild sourness of vinegar and the rich sweetness of beef bone broth. The standard for enjoying borscht fully is to add a large spoonful of smetana sour cream to the bowl. When the creamy richness blends in and the soup turns a pale pink, the flavor reaches its perfect balance. Finally, kvass, a refreshing drink, is considered a traditional Eastern carbonated beverage thanks to its fermentation process using dark bread. Kvass contains less than 1% alcohol and boasts a distinctive aroma of toasted barley with a sweet and sour aftertaste. In the summer, specialized yellow tanker trucks appear on the streets, providing a fresh supply of kvass with an original, less sweet flavor than industrially bottled products. And those are 10 facts nobody tells you about Russia. Would you be willing to trade money to live in this country? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next adventures.